The reason he got re-elected, I would argue, is the media gave him a pass. People like you, I came on your show on the eve of his election, and you were telling me all sorts of things. Oh, don't call him a Nazi, don't call him a fascist. Meanwhile, we have masked thugs pulling American citizens off the street,
He's not
shooting
a
them in
Nazi.
cold blood, shooting...
He's not a Nazi.
I was right about his fascism. You were wrong about his fascism. I was right that he would try and stay in office in 2021. You were wrong about that.
Welcome back to Tabloid. Usually, Piers Morgan likes to punch down. He likes to shout over guests who aren't media trained. But today Piers made the mistake of inviting a shark into the tank. We are watching a debate masterclass. Mehdi Hasan, arguably the sharpest debater in political media, goes on uncensored and absolutely dissects Piers Morgan. You can literally see the difference in processing speed. Mehdi is playing 4D chess, and Piers is struggling to play checkers. Let's watch the carnage.
Come on, Piers, this is a man who rants about shark attacks, who talked about Arnold Palmer's penis at a rally, who did an impression of someone doing oral sex on a microphone at a rally. There's been no president like this. I hate George W. Bush, but I would put George Bush 100 times above Donald Trump in terms of intellectual and mental fitness for office. You cannot question any Democrat's intellectual fitness for office when you have supported this man, the most deranged man, your words, deranged, mad, nuts man, in office.
Just to be clear,
this is a man who couldn't find Taiwan on a map. His life depended on it.
Mehdi, here's the problem. I'm afraid, listen, you know I like you, I respect you very much. You've built an amazing business with Zeteo. Congratulations. But one of the reasons Donald Trump got re-elected is that you guys have got literally Trump derangement syndrome. It plays into his hands. I prefer to be more even-handed with him. I prefer to praise him when he deserves it, and I prefer to whack him when he doesn't. When you're so blindly enraged by everything, including silly jokes he says, you're so deranged about him. Actually, in the end, you managed to achieve the unthinkable. You managed to help get Trump re-elected.
Hold on.
He got re-elected with a bigger majority.
Do I get to speak? So, hold on. Let's just deal with a couple of things. The reason he got re-elected, I would argue, is the media gave him a pass. People like you, I came on your show on the eve of his election, and you were telling me all sorts of things. Oh, don't call him a Nazi, don't call him a fascist. Meanwhile, we have masked thugs pulling American citizens off the street,
He's not
shooting
a
them in
Nazi.
cold blood.
He's not a Nazi.
I was right about his fascism. You were wrong about his fascism. I was right that he would try and stay in office in 2021. You were wrong about that. His people are shooting Americans
stay in office in 2021.
Everything that I said would happen in a second term.
He didn't stay in office.
Piers, and you said he was
He's not a Nazi, and he's not a fascist.
Oh, my God. Piers, you, in January 2021, accused him of trying to stay in office. You said he sent an armed mob to the Capitol. You said he should be removed from office, never be president again. You changed your tune once he got back to the presidency. I get that. That's fine.
No.
I've been right about everything I've said about Trump. And as for being Trump derangement syndrome, it's the very opposite. Even I didn't think he'd be trying to start a war with Denmark. Even I didn't think he'd be shooting Americans in the street 14 months into his presidency. Even I didn't think he'd be this corrupt on this level so openly. So, in fact, he's been much worse than those of us who allegedly have TDSs. You have TDS, Piers. You have Trump denial syndrome.
The Nazi trap. This is where Mehdi displays his technical superiority. Piers tries to argue semantics. He says Trump isn't a Nazi because he hasn't killed 12 million people. That is the argument of a child. Mehdi counters with the ideological definition, using vermin rhetoric, the poisoning the blood comments, and the obsession with race science. And then Mehdi springs the trap.
When I say to you, is Trump racist? You say, no, he's not racist, even though he calls Somalis low IQ, Piers. Do you agree that Somali people are low IQ? Is that not the most racist thing
Just to explain, Mehdi, just to explain.
You're dodging me.
This is not your show.
Do you think Somalis are low IQ, Piers?
This is not your show, Mehdi.
Do you think Somalis are low IQ?
You don't get to interview me for half an hour. It's not your show.
I think people are worried about your silence.
When I come on your show, I haven't been silent about any of these things. You should watch my show more.
Trump called Somalis low IQ. Is that not a Nazi thing to say? Is that okay? I'm not asking you a question.
It's not a Nazi thing to say. No,
I think
it's not a Nazi thing to say.
It is white supremacist rhetoric to call black people garbage and low IQ.
The problem is,
it's amazing that you're defending.
Okay, Mehdi,
amazing.
Let's not talk at the same time. No, here's what I'm defending. When people like you on left keep calling Trump a Nazi or comparing him to Adolf Hitler, that is exactly what I'm talking about Trump derangement syndrome. It is so ridiculous, so offensive, so inaccurate. Adolf Hitler and the Nazis murdered 12 million people, including 6 million Jews in a Holocaust. There is zero comparison to be made.
Then why are they pumping out Nazi propaganda from the DHS Twitter account? Why are they using literal Nazi themes and quoting Nazi books? Do you know that they're doing that? Have you checked that out? Go check it out. I wrote about it. Why are they trying to...
Has he murdered 12 million
right now,
people?
A man who says... Why is he? That's not the definition of a Nazi. That means Nick Griffin's not a Nazi because he didn't murder. You know perfectly well, you don't have to be Hitler to have Nazi views. These are Nazi views. When you put someone in front of Congress right now, they're trying to confirm someone to the State Department, Piers, who says that we need to address the Jewish question, that Jews are victims, that white people are being erased. Are those not Nazi views? Are those not far-right views? Are those not views you want to condemn? This is your friend. You say, Donald Trump is my friend. I'm asking you, Donald Trump, your friend, is friends with Epstein. Donald Trump, your friend, says Somalis are low IQ. I'd like you to condemn that.
Mehdi, I don't have to condemn it because I did condemn it when he said it. My team have just sent me the monologue the day after he said it about the Somalis. Do you want to hear what I said the next day?
Sure. Did you call him a racist?
But just as it's absurd and abhorrent to argue that every British Muslim man is a rapist, it's clearly wrong to say that every one of the 116,000 Somalis in the US are thieves or low IQ. That's why many are unhappy with some of the rhetoric pouring from the White House. I did criticize.
I don't hear the word racist there, Piers. Do you not think it's racist to call all black... No, but you didn't call it racist. Of course you criticised it. Did you call it racist? You will refuse to use the R word, I noticed.
I think absurd and abhorrent says it all, Mehdi. You just didn't know I said it, did you?
Do you think Somalis are low IQ? Look at Piers' panic. He refuses to answer. He refuses to use the word racist. He calls it absurd or abhorrent, but he is terrified of validating Mehdi's point. Mehdi Hasan exposes the fundamental weakness of Piers Morgan's centrist grift. Piers wants to be the sensible middle, but when you are confronted with a politician calling African immigrants low IQ, there is no middle ground. You either condemn it as racism or you run cover for it. Piers tried to lecture Mehdi on tone. Mehdi lectured Piers on reality. It wasn't a debate, it was a discipline session. Mehdi Hasan is simply operating on a level that Piers Morgan cannot reach without a stepladder. Drop a comment below. Did Piers get destroyed, or was he just out of his depth? Stay skeptical, stay loud.